Bike,
It's already half price 50,000 rupee. With a car 100,000
I know,
rupee.
but bike, what I can give is like if it's 25, 30 also I can give 40 maximum.
So I've done with the immigration process here, and it was nothing to be actually worrying about, because they don't ask you for anything except your passport, and this is the stamp which they are going to give you. Thank you. Well, it's time to explore the land of gods. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today is 9th of July 2024, and today itself I'm going to start off my journey from Kolkata to Bali along with you all. And as you all know that this is going to be my first ever international trip where I'm going solo, whereas no friends are actually joining me in this particular tour. So I'm going to share with you each and everything on this particular tour so that you can save a lot of money and also cover up most of the places in Bali. So it's already 12:45 at the clock, and as you can see, the packing is not done yet. We are going to finish off our packing, and after that we'll be heading towards the airport where I'll be seeing you next. So come on, let's go. So it's 10:15 at the clock, and I have reached the Netaji Subhash International Airport here in Dum Dum. So right now we are going to go and collect our boarding passes first, and then we'll be going to the immigration directly. So our flight from here to Kuala Lumpur is at 12:45. So come on, let's go. So as I have already told you, this is going to be my first solo trip on an international soil. I'm very much excited about it actually, and a bit scared also what is going to happen and what not. So do watch the entire series to get the ultimate information on how you can visit Bali just like me as a solo traveler. And also I'm going to give you a lot of informations throughout the series of videos on which you can save a lot of money on your next trip to Bali. Just look at the queue right over here for the check-in process. It's a big queue. It will take a lot of time, it seems. Let's see. Well, it almost took around 40 minutes time to clear off the check-in process here at the Netaji Subhash International Airport. And it happens like this actually because the flight timing from Kolkata to Bangkok and the flight timing from Kolkata to Kuala Lumpur is almost the same. So the queue is like a regular thing out here. So it's better that you come a bit early so that you don't need to stand in this big queue actually, just like what I did. So come on, let's go and clear off the immigration process. Now just look what's happening here. Just look at the line right over here for the immigration process. I guess this will take another 20-25 minutes time actually. Come on, let's go. So it took almost around 1 hour 10 minutes time to finish off the check-in, immigration and the customs process. So do come early, as they say. 3 hours time is what you can keep in hand if you're going for international tours, and 2 hours is for the domestic ones. So keep this in mind while you're coming down. So right now, as you can see, this is the place from where the boarding process will start actually for the flight. We are going to wait here actually for, it's like an hour almost left. So come on, let's start the journey towards Bali. Well, AirAsia is very strict about their baggage policies. So if you have 7 kgs cabin luggage, then do remember to keep almost like 7 kgs, not more than that, because they might actually ask you to pay more. So do check once or maybe more actually before actually going for the check-in process. And what I would recommend is like if you are keeping a water bottle with you, which you are carrying it from the home actually, you can just put the water outside before doing the check-in process, which will actually reduce some weight. And while coming inside the place where you will be boarding actually for the flights, right over here on the left hand side there is a place actually where you can fill up the water bottles. So this is the boarding pass and zone number 3, right over here it's written zone number 3. So right now I'm in the queue for boarding for the flight. So I'm on my way towards boarding the flight, and it will actually take 4 hours time to reach Kuala Lumpur first, and after that there will be a layover for 6 hours, and then another 3 or 3.5 hours it will take actually from Kuala Lumpur to reach Denpasar airport in Bali.
सुरक्षा के लिए कृपया सीट बेल्ट खोल कर बैठे रहें। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइसेस के इस्तेमाल की अनुमति नहीं है।
So as you can see, 17C is my seat number, by the way, and unlucky I am that I didn't get a window seat. So one thing I would say about AirAsia, it's like very common if you are coming by this particular flight or you are using this operator, the leg space actually, just look at the leg space. It's not that quite comfortable. It's like 4 hours flight we are going to take from here, but the leg space is very less and they don't give a glass of water either. So these are the things actually which are actually the drawbacks of AirAsia. So right now it's 7:15 at the clock here in Kuala Lumpur and almost 5 in India, and we have reached the Kuala Lumpur airport terminal 2. You can see it's raining outside a lot. It has been raining for almost like the last 30-45 minutes, and it's like actually the planes are actually not completely visible in fact because of the rain. So I will actually be waiting here for the upcoming 6 hours because that's the layover time, and I just wish that the next flight is not delayed. Well, it's totally a nostalgic feeling, to be honest, because Kuala Lumpur Airport Terminal 2 is the place where I had been in the past in 2021 with my father, and as you all know that I also had made a dedicated series on Malaysia where I had visited Langkawi, Penang, Kuala Lumpur and also Malacca on a proper budget. You can always check that out, it's in my playlist itself. So as I've already told you that I will have to wait here for the upcoming 6 hours, because after that I'll be flying from here to Denpasar airport in Bali. So we'll be having some food also, and we'll be roaming around the place because I know this place quite well. So let me just show you around how beautiful the Terminal 2 of Kuala Lumpur is. Come on. So basically when you will be reaching Kuala Lumpur, this is the terminal from where you will be actually heading in towards the airport here in Kuala Lumpur, and the road is very simple. You just need to come up here and walk straight, and they have all the guidance provided in the form of boards right over there, as you can see. So you just need to walk straight. It's actually almost a walk of 10 to 15 minutes, and nothing else actually to worry about. You just need to come up and walk straight towards the international transfer, and also for immigration if you are coming and staying here in Malaysia. Well, let me give you some information here. If you are coming by Air Asia to Malaysia, then you will definitely be dropped on Terminal 2. And if you are coming in via other airlines, maybe like Bangkok Airlines or Singapore Airlines or any other airlines actually, then there is a high chance that you are going to get dropped at Terminal 1. So keep this thing in mind, because if you have a flight from here which actually goes from Terminal 2, then definitely you should be in Terminal 2 first, and else you might have one transit visa on which I have made a dedicated video. You can check that out actually. I will put it up in the link up over there in the screen. So keep these things in mind, that if you are going with Air Asia flights and coming to Malaysia from any other country, then Terminal 2 is the place where you will be dropped. And for any other airline companies, then it's high chance that you are going to get dropped in Terminal 1. Well, I got my flight tickets from Kolkata to Bali on a round trip basis, and it was almost around 19,500 rupees, which is actually a very good price to get, because basically it's like 24,000 to 25,000 is what you will be paying actually for round trips. And also to check on the layovers, because the less layover will actually make your trip from Kolkata to Bali easier. Like for me it's 6 hours. You can also get around 2.5 hours layover, or even more than 10 hours also. So do check that before booking your tickets. And recently there has been a news that we are going to get flight from India directly to Bali, and I guess the flights are being operated from Bangalore. So if you're staying there or nearby Bangalore, you can definitely opt for the direct flight, which is going to be a 7 hours flight. You can check that out also. But if you're staying in Kolkata, then definitely do check the layover timings before booking your flights to Bali. So after you come down from the place where I've mentioned, actually this is the place from where you'll be coming from, and right over here you can see international terminal transfers actually on this side. And if you're going for domestic transfers, then definitely on this side. So remember this thing while coming down. You will be coming in from this place and you will be turning left for international transfers, and on the right side are for domestic transfers. So this is the place where you will be taking rest for your flight layovers, and you can just say it's absolutely beautiful. You have shops right over there to have some food and even do some shopping, and right over here there are stores where you can have some food from. You can buy water bottles also. In front you can see there are the list of flights along with the timings, where I'll be also checking my flight timing definitely. And it's a very beautiful place, as you can see, all around. As you can see, there are a lot of branded stores which I was talking about right over here. Places to have some beautiful food also. You can try out the famous dish Nasi Lemak, which is one of the most authentic and most popular items you can have food from. This is the place from where I had my food actually when I was in Malaysia in 2021, and the food was not that bad actually. So right now it's 12 at the clock, and our flight to Denpasar is at 1:30 PM. So basically we have 1 hour 30 minutes in hand, and we will be actually waiting at the gates, because I don't know how much time they actually take to actually do all the custom checking and all. I guess there will be another custom checking, because this is a very different country and the place where we are going is different. So maybe there's a custom checking. We are going to see it within a few minutes. A 6 hour layover is actually very tough. I already had one. It was 10 hours in Malaysia itself, but for 6 hours sitting in the same place, it's like cramps and all comes up in the body, and Just because I'm alone, I cannot even take rest or go to sleep, because there is always a chance of luggage misplacement also, and you cannot blame anyone for that. So right over here are the list of flights actually, where you can see all the flight details are given here. These are mainly for the international flights. Right over there, 130 D7079 to Denpasar, P10. P10 is the gate number. So come on, let's move on. And as you can see, as I was already telling you, there is a custom checking going on. So again, I have to like unpack my bag and do the customs checking. Well, it's rather good to come an hour before the boarding process starts, because P10, the gate number P10 is quite a walk actually from the customs checking area. So keep these things in mind, and it might help you on your next trip to Bali definitely. Well, so I finally found P10 right over there on the right side, and it's quite a walk. It almost takes around 5 to 10 minutes time by walking itself only. So this is the place where we will be waiting actually for our flights to come, and then the boarding process will be completed. They are just checking the boarding pass and the passport and nothing else, and there is no checking of luggage also, which was actually last done in Kolkata itself. Well, it's raining outside here in Kuala Lumpur for the last 5-6 hours, and as you can see, it's still raining a bit. The weather in Denpasar is going to be very different from what we are seeing it here, and the temperature also will be, and it's almost around 3 hours 15 minutes flight from Kuala Lumpur to Denpasar. So it's 1:10 at the clock, and we are on our way towards boarding onto our flights to Denpasar. It will take 3 hours, as I've already told you. The weather is a bit better than what it was actually in the morning. So let's see. This is actually a huge flight, as you can see, 3 into 3 into 3 seats, and it's been divided into 2 halves also, and 42A is my seat. Thankfully I got a window seat, and it's quite good actually. The leg space is much more better. There are cushions here also, so hopefully it's going to be a great ride.
Bali. We are pleased to inform you that we have landed 5 minutes ahead of schedule. The local time now is at 4:30 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon, 10 July 2024.
So it's 4:30 at the clock, and I have finally reached Bali. Right now I'm at the airport, as you can see, and first of all I would like to say that the service of AirAsia X is better than AirAsia. The seating was much more comfortable, and the leg space is almost the same, and regarding providing the water and all etc., it's just the same as what they do in AirAsia, but the seat cushioning was much more better. the air circulation was also better actually. They were controlling the temperature on a frequent basis so that people don't actually get cold and all sort of things actually. So these things actually were the plus points of going on AirAsia X. So right now I'm directly going to go for the visa on arrival first and show you how to do and what are the steps and procedures you should follow actually for the visa on arrival. Okay, so this is the international arrival, and right from here you are going to come in. As you can see, the arrow is marked on the left hand side, international arrivals. So we're going to follow that. Wow, just look at this beautiful structures out here inside the airport. Absolutely beautiful scenes, and the airport also looks very grand. You can see, I guess this is the dance format here. They are depicted and people are taking a lot of photos here. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And the airport looks absolutely beautiful. So let me just show you here. There are a lot of points actually from where you can apply for the visa on arrival. As you can see, there are counters right over here. There are 3 counters on this side and 3 to 4 counters on this side. So 7 counters of our visa on arrival process, which you can actually do it here itself. And there is also an option for electronic e-visa, which is counter number 6. I will be showing you that also. Just give me a moment. Okay, so this is counter number 6 in the background, which you can see. You can apply for the electronic visa on arrival also from here. So for the visa on arrival process, they didn't ask for anything. They just asked you for the passport, and $32 is what you have to pay, and they will give you a slip like this. After that, you will be going straight to the immigration counter where I'm standing right now. As you can see, there is a big queue also. But remember one thing, you need to pay them at US dollar mainly, which is the most expected currency they want, and they will return you in IDR or Indonesian rupiah. So I've done with the immigration process here, and it was nothing to be actually worrying about, because they don't ask you for anything except your passport, and this is the stamp which they are going to give you. It's valid for 30 days, and I guess there is no customs checking here, so we'll directly go straight outside the airport. But before that, let me just check out if I can find the tourist information center from where I can collect some information also. And also I will be checking out the rates of the SIM cards, and I'll be showing them to you. So let's see what we get here. And one more thing I would like to actually add in this particular section is that there is a particular fee which is known as the Bali tourist tax, which I have already made a dedicated video on how you can pay it online at your home. So I asked them, like, on which counter are you checking for the Bali tourist tax? So they said it's nothing like that. You have to show us that you have already paid. It's like if anyone in the island asks you, whether it's a police or anyone, whether you have paid the tax or not, you can just show them the bill. So there's nothing that you need to show it here, and I don't know why, because it's a mandatory thing as far as I have heard. But it's okay, like they didn't check for that. Okay, so another important thing that you need to know after you collect your bag, or if you're coming from that side, right over here you can check that there's a customs declaration QR code given here. So what you basically need to do is you need to scan the code and fill up the form. I'm just showing you right now. This is the form actually which you need to fill up. So after that, you need to declare everything, and then from here you will be actually going to the customs declaration counter and clearing off your total customs declaration process and things. So after filling up the form, you will be getting something like this on your mobile, the scanner code, which we are going to have to show them before leaving the airport. So just outside the exit gate, as you can see, this is XL Azita Telkomsel. Both are actually super fast internet connections here. Let me just show you the price, and along with the package, 18 GB plus 16 GB free, 250K, and these are actually the rates right over here. 250K is, by the way, in Indonesian rupiah, so you just need to convert it. For Indian money, you just need to multiply it with 0.0051, and for Telkom rates.
Telkomsel SIM.
You can just see the rates actually right over here. So it's almost the same, by the way. The rates are almost the same in both the sections, but I feel that I might get a good rate outside also. So on Grab, the rates from the airport to Kuta is actually showing 12,000 RP actually. I hope you can see. And there are options for card also, you can check that out. So this is what the land of gods look like. You just arrive, just see how beautiful the place is. Absolutely beautifully decorated. Wow, and people are waiting outside with the name tags in their hands. It's looking absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so he's going to take me. Yeah, okay, take, yeah. Hi.
Taxi driver in Bali.
Yeah. So
Welcome to Bali, buddy.
Yeah,
What's your
thank
name?
you. My name is Shushmit.
Sushmit.
Yeah.
Enjoy your vacation in Bali.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So I've actually booked a Grab car actually because the bikes are very tough to find. So it is going to take me almost around 90,000 IDR, which is 456 rupees. The journey is not that far. It's like 15 minutes maximum. But as far as I have seen for the last 15 minutes, yeah.
Bali. Bali is a beautiful place.
Yes, yes. As far as I have seen, it's like.
Bali safety, 100%.
Ah.
That from Indian people. You look at that. That from local.
Yes, yes.
Family, big family eating something for the dinner.
Right.
Big dinner in that one. Everyone is welcome.
Yeah. So basically it's like this, it's very tough to find a bike as far as I've seen. The car is like what you need to pay 500 rupees almost. It's like, it's quite okay because if you are 2-3 people together, then the price can be divided. But for me, I felt the bike would have been much more cheaper, but it's okay, no problem. Let me just go and find a hotel first.
Bike,
It's already half price 50,000 rupee. With a car 100,000
I know,
rupee.
but bike what I can give is like if it's 25, 30 also I can give 40 maximum. You drop me to Kuta Square. You drop me to Kuta Square, I will search the hotel and all from there, no problem. But 40,000 is like what I can pay for the bike. Drop
Okay.
me till Kuta.
Okay, this the last one. 50,000 not for Hey boss.
I
wait
told you 40,000 is like more. You check the price. You just check it in here. Okay, my SIM card in here. Okay, so for 24 GB it's 250k and 40 GB it's 300k, right? But you said that 24 GB is quite okay for 8 days, 8
For
days.
ID, I think that's enough because you can use Wi-Fi in the
In the
hotel.
hotel. It's mainly for booking and like booking the grabs and all, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes food.
So this is the room where I'm going to stay for the next 3 days here in Kuta. Right over here you can see there is a TV. It's quite big actually, a double bed with AC. Easily can fit in 2 to 3 people at times, at a time. And here you have the bathtub along with everything that is needed in the shower. I'm on the 3rd floor by the way, so the view from the balcony is also very good. I just got my room just beside the balcony so that I can spend some time at the balcony even if I want to. And this is just on the famous road of Kuta. As you can see, it's a bustling street here. So this hotel is costing me almost around 1750 per night, and it doesn't include breakfast by the way. This is actually a disadvantage. And on the next video I'm going to show you, they have a beautiful garden along with the pool section. So that I will be showing you on the next day because I'm very tired today. As you know that it's been a very hectic journey, and after that searching for hotels for the last 2 hours had actually made it a much more mess. So I will be taking some rest first, and hope you enjoyed what you saw in the video. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. I will answer each and everyone's question. So till then, bye bye, take care, stay safe. See you all in the next one.